I was encouraged by several people to get a service dog. And then there was a lady who lived with us for 10 years. She said, you know, if you got a service dog, you'd be a lot easier to live with.
Honestly, someone mentioned it to me. You know, you should get a service dog. And I thought it was ridiculous. I have use of my legs, arms, my glasses are pretty strong, but I'm not blind.
You know, every one of us has been wounded. Some of the wounds are more obvious than others.
My first service dog, Ben, I had him for roughly 9 years. From the moment I got up to the moment I went to bed, Ben was a part of my life. So to say that he was important would be an understatement. He was integral into having a happy life and enhancing the quality of life that I had. And I lost him 8/31/16, and then about a year later, Lori contacted me again and asked if I was ready for another dog. I said I was, and so we went from there.
Veterans have a very soft spot in my heart. My father was a very proud American, a very proud veteran. About the time my son had just joined the Air Force, some veterans at the Dallas VA were trying to train their own dogs and had heard about this dog trainer in Rockwall and set up a meeting to have lunch with me to see if I could help them. They were an amazing group of men that needed help, and that's when my heart just fell in love with veterans. Hey, this is what I need to do.
I'm a trainer for Patriot PAWS. I've been doing this about 4 years, 4.5 years I guess now. My training was done in what we call the prison program. That's how I learned to train dogs, was there in prison.
Our partnership with Texas Department of Criminal Justice, TDCJ, is where we train the inmates how to train the dogs. So they volunteer to work for us, but it is their job while they're in TDCJ to learn and train these dogs to help these veterans.
It's great. We get up in the morning, we take them out to the restroom, and our day starts, and it's a long day, and they're with us all the time. If like a puppy gets sick or needs to go out at 3 in the morning, that's your puppy. You get up and you take him out, him or her out, and that's just part of the responsibility that we've taken on.
Watching them learn something that I've helped teach them just makes you feel it's like watching a child grow. You see them as puppies grow up to older dogs, and it makes your heart happy to know that they're progressing, going to help somebody, and that you're part of that. It's amazing.
You know, even at the end of the day, we have downstay time where, you know, I can love on her a little bit. So at the end of a hectic day in the place that I live in, kind of can be negative sometimes at the prison. So having her there is a little bit of a relief for me.
If they came into the program for the right reason, not to hide, not to play with dogs, but because they really wanted to do something with their lives and give back to society, I see them change for the better and grow. So it's a win-win for them, it's a win-win for me, because it's really nice to be able to have such a positive impact. And this program does have a positive impact on them.
I'm very excited. You know, it's kind of like, you know, a kid waking up on Christmas. It's more than just, oh gosh, here's a great toy to play with. This dog will be a lifetime companion.
This whole week we've taken different dogs around the various cues that we've learned. I think there's a whole list of cues. I think there's 50 cues that we've learned so far. And we've been training with each of the dogs at various times with Lori and Bonnie, watching us to see kind of which dog interacts the best with us and which one we interact best with.
The dogs have already been trained. And so I think part of it is training us as the veterans to know what those cues are and to see how the dog reacts.
What we do is we try to let our dogs pick their owners. Then they're more likely to pick up on the nightmares and the night terrors and things like that. So taking the time, the first part of the week that the veterans are here, and watching the dogs interact with them, you can actually see a dog pick its owner.
And then this afternoon at 2, she's going to have the reveal, I guess. It feels like the dating game almost, but I think the offenders are going to line up with all the dogs and they'll release the dog to us, you know, when they call our names. So very excited about it. Pokey jumped completely in my lap the first time, all 4 feet in my lap. So since the first time we met, there has been something between he and I that has been a little bit special.
We know these dogs, we watch them, and it's very clear that it's always been you.
I wasn't surprised, but it was very happy to hear Lori say that Pokey was the dog that she had picked out for me.
I tried my best not to pick a dog, you know what I'm saying, like that, but you obviously do, even if you tell yourself not to and you try not to. Cassie was the dog I thought I should.
Thank you, everybody, really.
Well, that was the dog I wanted, and I thought, wow, that's really going to be wonderful, because I felt that I could work very well with Aggie, and I hoped that I'd be able to give Aggie a good life.
Over the last, week since Saturday, she's been staying with me, and my anxiety levels, going through the program, worrying about things, Cassie's been able to comfort me in a way that people can't. I mean, it's kind of weird. I don't know why it works, but it works.
Actually, the first night that I had Aggie, I slept better than I had in months.
Mostly it's just, it's someone around you. So that when you're starting to have that anxiety attack, they'll let you know that you're starting to have it. 9 times out of 10, I'm 45 minutes into it before I even realize it's happening. The dog will let me know when it starts so that I can head it off.
I'm a military family, and I've seen a lot that goes on with people that come back from war and even just overseas stationed. And a lot of my father's friends came back with some issues, and this program wasn't, or anything like that, wasn't in existence.
It's very emotional because I've seen these veterans when they first came, and we appreciate the work they do, and they go risk their lives each and every day to give us the freedom, and we took advantage of that. So now to give back, it's an incredible feeling because you see the difference that these dogs make. We're learning to be disciplined and take correction from other people, and are learning to just accept it and move on, something that we need to learn out in the world and jobs, anywhere that we're trying to make it.
They leave with a skill, and a lot of them work in animal shelters and vet clinics, and some of them started their own business. I saw one on Facebook the other day. She actually has a mobile grooming facility now where she works with the dogs, and so it gives them a career and something that they can do.
I have priorities and I put them in the right order now. I've definitely learned that. Life skills, being able to communicate with people and not just running away from problems. I've learned to face them head on and deal with them the proper way. I learn a lot.
The inmates that you work with, they're in there for a reason, and they've lost a lot of relationships with their families and their spouses and their children, and so to give them a puppy, to give them something to love and something to care for and something to take care of, they grow like a little rose. It would start out in its stem and it leaves and its blooms. So to see them change and watch them grow is one of my favorite parts, because they deserve as much respect as anybody else.
The one word that I would use is gratitude. I'm grateful for the many people, and there are so many hands that had a role in producing this wonderful dog that I have, and the wonderful dogs that other people in my class have.
I don't know, it's weird. You almost feel like, do I deserve this? There's so many of us, and there's only so many dogs. I mean, Lori can only do so much, she has only so much kennel space, and not every dog makes it through the program, so they have to, find the right dogs, and that takes time, effort. 2 years of training is crazy, and a dog could go through a year and a half of training, then fail out, and you put a year and a half into a dog. So, they have to do so much to get it to the point where we're at, to the dogs that are graduating.
The I couldn't ask for anything better, you know, and being here, you know, in our situation, I think it's a privilege, and not everybody gets to get in Patriot PAWS, so I feel very fortunate.
I just want to thank Ms. Stevens, you know, and all the volunteers and TDCJ too for, you know, giving us people that have taken so much from society, giving us the opportunity to give back and to change our lives and be a positive influence on people. It's just, you know, I really want to show my appreciation to them, as all Ms. Stevens and TDCJ.
Being hurt and coming back and having an organization like this that truly has your back and is willing to step up and take care of you and fill the hole that maybe has been caused by things that you've done and experiences that you've had. I think that makes it easier. It makes it easier to stand and easier to live and easier to get by.